What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in London, England tonight. They said Challenger 2 isn't working. Ukraine soldiers speak the truth about the British tank. Yes, very much side checks one out. We ain't gonna waste more time. We're just gonna get right into it, folks. We're gonna get right into it. Oh yeah.
When the Ukrainian flag first appeared in the Kursk region in August 2024, it wasn't a symbolic gesture, it was a statement that Ukraine was ready to take the fight beyond its own borders into enemy-held ground. And among the very first units to cross that line was a Challenger 2 tank crew. Hidden deep in a tree line, they've been holding a stretch of land that has become more than just a front line. It's a buffer zone, a trap, a place where Russian forces are tied down, bleeding strength day after day. For nearly 6 months now, the Ukrainian army has maintained control of this sector. It's not just about defense, it's about shaping the battlefield. Every kilometer held here forces the enemy to commit troops, resources, and attention away from other fronts like Donetsk, Luhansk, or Zaporizhia. And in the shadows of this operation, the 82nd Air Assault Brigade has been working alongside their British-made steel beasts, adapting old designs for a war that looks nothing like the one these tanks were built for. We meet them in the rear area of the Kursk operation. The Challenger 2 is barely visible, tucked under camouflage netting and the thick canopy of trees. Here, not far from enemy lines, the crew waits for orders. Their job is simple in theory, brutal in practice, to repel assaults and to stop any attempt by the Russians to claw back territory. When infantry pushes forward, the Challenger moves in to shield them. When the enemy advances, the Challenger stands in their way. The Challenger 2 first rolled out in the late 1990s, a modern tank for its time, but times have changed. In Ukraine's war, every weapon meets a countermeasure, and every countermeasure meets a workaround. The crew admits the tank isn't perfectly suited for the drone-saturated EW-heavy battlefield they face today, so they've improvised. They built auxiliary armor panels by hand, reinforced the chassis, tested camouflage netting, which turned out to be less effective than they hoped, and now they rely heavily on electronic warfare systems to keep the deadliest threats at bay. Inside the turret, they feel secure. In fact, they've seen the Challenger's armor absorb at least 5 direct hits from FPV drones without penetration. Even if critical components are damaged, the tank can keep moving long enough for the crew to bail out safely. August 6th, 2024. As the operation kicked off, the Challenger crew crossed into the Kursk region, moving toward their assigned position. Enemy helicopters flew overhead, spotted them, but strangely didn't engage. The Ukrainians secured their foothold until the helicopters returned. This time, guns blazing. A cumulative round slammed into the Challenger's turret, but the armor held. The tank shrugged it off, and the mission went on. Moments like that don't just test equipment, they test the people inside it. One of them is Rhaegar, a 22-year-old company commander who led his men at the start of the Kursk operation. His unit's first days were explosive. Literally. They destroyed 2 Russian Ka-52 Alligator attack helicopters, one with a Browning heavy machine gun, the other with a Western-supplied man-pads.
Wow. I mean, this is surreal. I'm looking at it there, and I don't even know if this is actual footage or not. I mean, it's just... War is not a joke, man. It's a serious thing. And that tank is a beast. I'm just looking at it, and it's a beast. I wouldn't know if it's made for today's warfare or not. I mean, it's doing a damn good job as far as I'm seeing there, right there. Damn. We're going to take it back just a bit.
One with a Browning heavy machine gun, the other with a Western-supplied man-pads. They captured nearly 20 Russian soldiers, wiped out over 4 pieces of enemy equipment, and still found time to conduct raids and counteroffensives on Russian territory. For a young commander, it was a trial by fire, and a statement that even in enemy territory, Ukrainian troops could seize the initiative. 6 months later, the battlefield has changed. The Russians have deployed North Korean assault troops, drones equipped with fiber optic control lines to bypass jamming, new munitions, new tactics, and every move they make forces Ukraine to adapt yet again. It's not just about having the best equipment anymore. It's about creativity, about combining Western technology with Ukrainian ingenuity to survive and win in a war where both sides learn fast and mistakes are punished instantly. The crew knows
Damn,
the enemy is
that's
evolving
right.
too. Kursk is no different from the bloody fronts in Donetsk or Zaporizhia, except for one thing. On the map, it's inside Russia, which means every day here is more than a defensive stand. It's a reminder to Moscow that its own soil is no longer safe from the consequences of its war. In the tree line, the Challenger 2 rests in silence, its crew waiting for the next order. They've survived helicopter attacks, FPV drones, artillery, and months of grinding warfare. And yet, they're still here, holding the line, shaping the fight, and proving that sometimes the most dangerous weapon on the battlefield isn't just the tank. It's the people inside it. So what do you think? The Challenger 2 will win wars in Ukraine? Drop your thought in the comment below. This is the military update. Real war, real machines, and real soldiers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
From what I'm seeing there, it's doing a good job. I don't know if they're comparing it to Challenger 1. I'm guessing Challenger 1, Challenger 2. But like you said, it's not just the equipment, the machinery, it's the people. Tactical, because the machinery can be there, but the tactical aspect still comes down to the individual, to the people using it. Because you can have equipment not just in warfare, but you can have an edge in terms of technology, but if you're not using it correctly, that's something totally different. You might think the technology is not good, or in fact it is. It's just who's behind the machine. And from what I'm seeing there, Challenger 2, I wouldn't even know if it's something that's not meant for this era of warfare. I don't know exactly what year the tank was made, Challenger 2. For those of you who know, hit me up in the comments. And yeah, hit me up with some more information about the different challenges prior to this one. Yeah, this was very interesting, enlightening, and man, you gotta have some balls, man, to go on the battlefield right there. It's just so dangerous. One move and it's over. It's not like a video game you could get many chances. You gotta be locked in, like locked in every single, not every day, every second you gotta be locked in, because one error and you're gone, man. You're going to meet the maker. Yeah. Wow. Shout out to all the soldiers fighting for freedom. Yeah. If you want to see how the long channel archer that I do, hit me over on Dyce Reacts, where I do music reactions. This is where I'm gonna be making my exit. Until next time, peace out.